literally their voice note in reply was like, my mind's blown. Like, I thought you'd be fine everywhere. You're so confident. You're this, you're that, you're the other. And I was like, but the thing is, if I'm not made to feel welcome somewhere and I'm not comfortable in that situation, then I won't feel comfortable.
There's a difficult balance that you need to be inclusive to make sure that everybody's included, but not exclusive.
Yep. Hi and welcome to the Small Business Podcast for Small Businesses, where today we're following on from the About Me video episode to making sure that you make people feel good in person. So your communication and how you're showing up online matches how you are in real life. And I'm very much I was going to say an example of this. I've had an example of this.
You've experienced
I've experienced this where it's been to... People say, yep, I'm really welcoming, I'm really supportive, I'm this, I'm that. And actually, that's not how they are in real life. And it's very much and I always say about it as my social media, of like, this is how I look on social media. This is how I am in real life. There is no difference. I don't use filters. I don't rarely wear makeup or do my hair or anything like that. This is how I am. You don't get an online persona versus an in real life persona. And it's a bit like bigger companies. It's the age-old meme of the McDonald's burger in the picture versus when you get your McDonald's. How it actually looks. It doesn't look like that perfect stack. But everyone's forgiving for that because it's McDonald's and you're just used to it and you get what you pay for. But it's exactly that. You get what you pay for. Because I think people will remember how you made them feel. And that's really, really important because they can enjoy your reels, they can enjoy your social media, your posts, they can relate to quotes, and anyone can put out a quote saying, oh, yeah, we do this. And then, in real life, if it's really different and people have a negative, it's almost like a double negative because you were like, your experience or expectations were quite high and it's not taking it down one peg, it's taking it down two pegs because your experience was actually quite low.
I think there's a reason why companies like the Waitroses and John Lewis's of the world spend so much on customer service training.
Yeah.
When I'm having worked for that business for a while, I've been through many training iterations of how to speak to customers and just the expectations compared to other supermarket brands, which will remain nameless for this example. If you go in and ask for a product in a kind of a John Lewis kind of world, there's a bit more chat to it. It's not just, yes, over there, which I've had in other shopping experiences.
That we will not name.
Treat yourself, go in, like, it's in the shop. Okay, brilliant. A little bit of
There's
help.
the signs above the aisle, that's what they're there for.
But like, that kind of tells me, perhaps I don't feel as welcome or willing to be helped to get what I want. Whereas like a Waitrose or a John Lewis is like, oh, what do you need that for? And then they try and get a bit more information. And there's another opportunity for, oh, if you're doing this, have you thought of that? Have you already got this sorted? The example they use in the training video.
Side selling.
Yeah, is I think the lady's asking about something to do with a cake mix. So then you've got some options to say, okay, it's over there. Obviously, you'll get an incorrect for that. Or, yes, madam, it's over here. Let me show you where it is. Or, yes, madam, it's over here. What's the occasion you celebrating? And then,
do you need a birthday card? Do you need wrapping paper?
And that's the one that they kind of lean towards because obviously you get those other opportunities. But as well as the upselling, it's just that experience. If somebody's like talking to me in a nice way and making me feel welcome and valued and how they perceive the shopping experience to be, then I'm going to think, I'm going to come back here.
Yeah.
Or I feel like I can potentially ask a question or open up to, actually, I was thinking about this, but I'm not sure about that. And you get that opportunity to have that conversation.
Well, you're going to be a loyal customer from then on, but also they fall straight into the price point as well. Yeah. There's a reason why Waitrose is more expensive, but arguably, I think it was COVID, there was a My Supermarket or something like that website set up. and you could put in your shopping basket and it would tell you who was most expensive, and Waitrose were not the most expensive.
Yeah, it's a brush that's been tarred with, but like actually when you break down like the basics, I mean, clearly used to work for them,
Yeah.
but it's not that far off. It's not that far off, and it's not hugely above and beyond as long as you don't go for the luxury items.
Yeah,
every
exactly.
single time.
Or you just go around and get upsold too. And like, well, actually, my shopping basket was 50 quid, but I spent 150, but I've got all these extra products.
Spoke to that nice lad.
Yeah, exactly. He was fine. He's like, cha-ching, bonus. But it's that price point, isn't it? Because actually, if you're going to give a better service and help someone and go above and beyond, you can charge a bit more as well. And that's when that works. People are happy. You get to the point where you're attracting customers and they're not actually asking what the price is. They're like, can you do this? Yep, brilliant. Okay, done it. Fun, great, happy, done. Whereas vice versa, if people are not getting the service, and there's a reason why the cheapest clients who have either drilled you down on price or for whatever reason you've got them in, sometimes when you're starting out, you're like, oh no, I'll do it for this price. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, their expectations are slightly higher. You then end up resenting them, and the relationship doesn't work well, because ultimately you're like, well, I'm not going to do that. But then what did you set out to start with anyway? Because if you've said, right, this is my service, it's 100 quid, then, oh, can you do it for 80? And you're like, yeah, go on then. It's all right. But it's the same service. So is your service worth £100 or is it worth £80? Because this is where the egos come into play as well. Of it might be that you're like, yeah, it's 100 quid. Actually, it cost me like 20 quid, but it's fine. But most people like that are more likely to stick to their price.
Yeah.
And they're not going to discount, which is why I always say to clients, don't discount, because you will end up resenting the level of service you're giving if you're giving the right level of service. Because ultimately, the way people feel, if they think they're getting over and above, so if you're like, yeah, it's 100 quid, and you know, oh, do you know what, I could do it for 60, but it's fine, you will naturally do a bit more for them. You will naturally go above and beyond, and it'll work. And then it's a good relationship. Everyone feels good, everyone's happy, and everyone knows where they stand. And I think that's the like puzzle piece of people knowing exactly where they stand, of the exactly my experience of my expectations are here. What actually happened was below my expectations. So I came away going, do you know what? That's not for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a loyal customer. I'm not going to feel good. And life is too short to not feel good. And small business is too hard to not feel good as well.
And dare I say, you're not going to recommend that to anyone else.
No, exactly.
And I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's all relationships, isn't it? It's all relationships. Like, can you find your tribe? And maybe that just wasn't the tribe for you, but equally didn't feel like I wasn't there. But from what you've said, you didn't really feel like they were trying to welcome you or to give you that option. And I think that's, you know, not everyone's for everyone, but equally everyone should be given a chance. And
which is fine, because if not everyone is for everyone, and that's absolutely fine. Like, I wouldn't go to a really corporate networking event, which we won't name BNI, but I wouldn't go to that because I've been before. It doesn't sit right with me. I don't feel right. I've mentioned it a few times on Reels and in podcasts that it's just not my thing. However, I've got clients and people I work with, absolutely works for them and it's their thing, which is absolutely fine. But we can still work together.
Yeah.
So there's varying degrees of who you can work with and what you can do. I think my biggest thing is I will collaborate with everyone. I don't look at anyone as competition, because at the end of the day, and that's not an ego thing, at the end of the day, there is enough business for us all. And the same, going back to your customers might not be your customers. So I do social media bookkeeping. Everyone needs bookkeeping. Absolutely everyone needs. When you run a business, you need bookkeeping. It doesn't say that every single person is my customer.
Yeah.
So actually, it might be a case of where I've found other bookkeepers. I'm like, do you know what? I can't work for that person. You need to speak to that person, which is absolutely fine, which is why I will always talk to everybody with an open mind and with encouragement, support, because again, small business is hard enough doing it on your own to not have someone else's support. So whereas I am different in that I don't look at anyone else's competition, I find it really, really difficult when people do look at me at competition.
Yeah.
And I've had some big companies have issues with me and look at me as competition, which is a massive compliment, by the way, because if you don't like little old me, then crack on, because I'm really not going to harm your business. I do not have that ego. I'm not going to make a difference. But it's important to, if you're giving off that vibe of everyone is competition, that's all I do, then you will find like-minded people like that as well. And that's fine.
It's awareness of, I think part of it is awareness. Do you know that you're giving off that that vibe? Because some people might not be aware that they're doing it.
Not at all.
But equally, also what kind of mindset are you in? Are you in a negative, I'm defensive and I'm going to only be out for me? Or is there a bit of openness and support that, we can all help each other? And I don't know, like, I know social media loves the negativity, doesn't it? And it's kind of, it drives people down that route. But I think that people get drawn to you because of the positivity and because of the potential. And like, I'd like to think that the customers that I've found have been excited about creating content because I put it in a positive spin, not a, oh, well, you need to create at least minimum this, at least minimum that, blah, 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 and push people down an avenue. I think one of the best bit of advice that I ever got was listen to everything and then take what's for you.
100%.
And then kind of try and work it out from there. You might be listening to this and not like what I say, but be absolutely from what Farley says and vice versa, and that's fine. But it's kind of just having an open mind and not necessarily pigeonholing yourself into that kind of place, I think.
Yeah, completely.
Massive waffle from my point of view there.
No, not at all, because I think it's just that it's like the saying, the people that mind don't matter and the people that matter don't mind. The people that matter to you, that want to work with you, don't mind what you do. Like, crack on, and they'll give that advice. And it's like Dave down the pub will give that advice. If you want to listen to it, fine. If you don't, fine as well. Whereas the people that mind, why do they mind? Why are they bothered with what you're doing? Why are they
nitpicking?
Yeah, exactly. Stay in your own lane, do what works for you, and if competition works for you, absolutely fine. Old school way of working, I'm the competition, this is my patch, blah 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 blah. Absolutely. If that works for you, crack on. That's not a problem, and that's not a wrong way of doing business. That's just not my way of doing business. And I always find that people will gravitate, and it's like you said earlier about finding your tribe. You'll link up with people very similar to you, whereas I can work with pretty much everyone as long as you're a good person. And I sent a voice note last week to someone who is really struggling to find their tribe and feel comfortable. And I sent the voice note saying, like, you're always welcome here. Whatever you want to do, come in. More than happy. But at the same time, I went somewhere where you'd think I would within the perfect people for me. And I felt really out of place. Yeah, they were really shocked that I didn't fit in. And the thing is, you'd think as a blonde, white female going to your average event or average walking into your average room or average coffee shop, that there wouldn't be an issue. And the thing is, my point back, and literally their voice note in reply was like, my mind's blown. Like, I thought you'd be fine everywhere. You're so confident. You're this, you're that, you're the other. And I was like, but the thing is, if I'm not made to feel welcome somewhere and I'm not comfortable in that situation, then I won't feel comfortable. And it's a collective, and it's very, very hard nowadays to on one hand, make everyone feel okay and go round and check everybody's okay, because that's not your job. It's partly a me problem, which I hold my hands up to. If I'm not in the right mindset for something, it's like doing my reels. I have to do my reels when I'm in the right mindset. And if I'm feeling a bit meh, I'm not going to record a load of reels, because they're going to come across as, oh, I've got to record a reel.
Yeah.
But if you're on form, then it's absolutely fine. But also, at the same time, we need to make sure, if you're of the be kind, be nice to everyone, you need to make sure everyone's okay.
I think, like, so back from the days when I was working in learning development, and part of the training we had was in a classroom, if you had like a broad range of people, there's a difficult balance that you need to be inclusive to make sure that everybody's included, but not exclusive.
Yeah.
So if one person finds it really difficult, like, you don't tailor the session so absolutely everyone has to follow the things just so that one person is satisfied, but it's negative towards everyone else.
Yeah.
But then you don't want to ignore that one person, because you need them to feel like that they're able to still do stuff. So it's a bit of a balancing act, because we need to try and make sure that everyone's included. But I think, like, the other question that kind of springs to mind, and a kind of preloaded question because we've already talked about it today, but it's almost trying to avoid those clicks, isn't it? And trying to avoid getting yourself in the echo chamber of something like that.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, when I was still employed, I joined LinkedIn. And then as I was getting like more and more into using LinkedIn, I didn't realize at the time, but it was a pod. A pod had kind of approached me to say, oh, why don't you come be a member of this pod and whatnot. And it was a lockout thing, and you had to go on and like and share and comment on the post, so the post got all the reach. But like, it was a massive echo chamber when looking back on it, because yes, it looked like the performance of that post was amazing and incredible, but was it? Because
it's straight to the same people.
Did you get to speak to anyone different?
Yeah.
And everyone had the what's the word? Everyone had the drive, or the not influence. Everyone had the incentive to be positive and whatnot. But were you getting the right feedback? Were you getting the right signals? I don't know. Like, I think that it is tricky, and yes, absolutely find your tribe. But I think some of the best people that I've seen who seem to network really well, and I think yourselves included, is people who will go to a lot of different things and not just blinkers on, I'm part of this tribe and that's the only thing for me.
And it's people walking in the room and feeling welcome. And it's like the age-old meme of the rotten apple idea. And I think it goes with any group, any organisation, wherever you're getting a group of more than 3 or 4 people, is to avoid exactly that, and avoid that echo chamber and avoid those clicks. Because I've been a part of a group before and I didn't realise there was a clique. I had no idea, because I spoke to everybody. But people from the outside were like, no, you're in a clique. And I was like, no, don't be ridiculous.
Yes.
However, a rotten apple rolled in, unawares, again, chatted away for us. And it's that, it goes to this does go to the be kind thing. And I had the situation where they took a dislike to me, absolutely fine. Feedback afterwards from someone else was like, well, your positivity does piss people off sometimes. And I'm like,
Wow.
Okay. And they're like, but we really like you, it's fine, but you can be a bit much. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can be a bit much. I'm so oversensitive, blah, 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 all the rest of it. But unfortunately, that rotten apple affected other apples, and all of a sudden there was a new clique that didn't like me and made me feel uncomfortable and pushed me out, and ultimately pushed me out, left and walked away. And it's one of those things, and I know if anyone's listening that sees me on social media, sees me at events, going, surely not. Oh, you're lovely. And I am lovely, and I'm lovely to everyone. And I will, as much as I can be I can talk negatively to myself. One thing I will say is I'm always lovely. I'm always welcoming, because I don't want anyone else to feel that way.
Yeah.
It's that age-old thing of you will make people happy, you will be positive, and you'll look out for people, because you would never, ever, ever want anyone to feel that way. So it's whenever you've got a group or an organisation, whether it's online or in person or whatever it is, it's exactly that. You've got none of that exclusivity in there, because once you have that exclusivity, there'll be breakaways and there'll be people that feel excluded and don't want to be a part of it, and that's when the negativity breeds. And it's not easy. It's a very, very fine line. And you're not, if you've got, and this is where networking groups are a classic example of that, you're not going to vet everyone who walks in, because you're not going to walk in, you're a nice person or you're a rotten apple. Like, you don't know until someone clicks in. But that's where rules and boundaries and things are put into place to make sure that everyone feels welcome. You're not going to be rude. And it saddens and stresses me that we have to do that in this day and age. But unfortunately, if people, and it's having these upfront conversations, because if everyone's going to feel welcome, it's having those honest conversations, and all down to that, like you said, relationships, communications, to like, oh, is everything all right, Liam? You fine? Yeah, but this. And it's having that conversation. Okay, did that happen, or are you not in a good place today, or are you struggling? And I've had it when I've gone to events and I've just gone, do you know what, hands up, I wasn't in the right frame of mind. Probably shouldn't have gone, but went anyway.
Yeah.
But it's still left a bad taste, and 2 years later I haven't gone back, because it's that memory of how it made you feel.
Yeah.
So it is a fine line, but it's also a balance. So whenever you're creating a group, an organisation, an event, whatever it might be, a company, it's making sure that if you're creating that and you're holding yourselves up on it, that you are actually making sure those rules and boundaries are in place, because you're responsible now for those people within that group.
Yeah, that's a great point. So it's like you say, it's a fine line to kind of follow, but I suppose key takeaway,
I think key takeaway is having that responsibility, because ultimately you're having that, whether you're creating a group or an event, it's that treat people, like standard cliche, treat people how you want to be treated.
Yep.
How do you want to feel? How would you want to be welcomed? What's your expectations? And it's not for everyone. It's like, hands up, I'm not very good at managing people, so I outsource now. I know what my strengths and weaknesses are. But when it comes to running events, having people into the office, welcoming it, I will always make sure everyone's welcome, everyone knows where they stand, and everyone knows what their expectations are, because it's that expectations and boundaries. And so you'll have people come to things, employ, join groups, whatever it might be. And if it's not for them, that's fine. But if you really want to know and improve, you need to have those difficult conversations and say to people, was everything okay? You haven't been back, or you haven't joined, whatever it is, find out and accept that, because as much as it's a be kind, everyone's lovely, it's all positive, constructive criticism is okay as well.
Yes. Yeah. And it's not taking it personally.
No.
or being offended or anything like that. It's trying to think, how do we avoid any issues that might have come up? They might not be issues. They might just be, like you say, that person having a bad day.
And it's never about you. It's never about you. It's like when people are like, oh, I don't want to post on social media because I'm worried about what people think. We're all worried about what people think. We're not worried about you. No, it's never about you. But if it is about you, you will know in your hearts of hearts that you've done something wrong. You will know straight away. So if you're afraid to have that conversation I'm having with my 11-year-old at the moment, if you're afraid to go up to someone and go, do you know what, Liam, have we got an issue? Is everything all right? If you're more afraid to have that, you'll know in your heart's heart, oh, yeah, it's because I called in this the other day, probably didn't like that.
Yeah.
You'll know there will be a problem. So I think and especially out of COVID, I think that had a massive hamper on communication face-to-face or on the phone or direct with someone. if you can have those conversations with people, you will always take that criticism and improve. Okay, how do we improve on that? How do we make that better? How do we make people feel more welcome? How do we do better? Because the only reason for a difficult conversation is if you know you're having a conversation where you've done wrong or you're a bit erring on the side of caution.
And then it comes down to that ownership and responsibility.
100%. Hold your hands up. It's like when you've messed up for a client. It's like, do you know what? I've messed up. I'm really sorry. Should have done it right, whatever it was be. You know in your heart of hearts if you've done wrong. So, and it's the same. They know as well. It's fine.
Yeah, there's no point trying to dance around it, because then you break down the trust, and then once the trust is gone.
Exactly that. Yeah. See, I waffled then. What was your key takeaway?
I think it's like it's trying to have an open mind, trying to have that balance of, and you will know in your gut where the right thing is. As we were saying, not everybody's for everybody, but equally allowing people to have the chance. And
trying different groups, trying different organisations, attending different things. Does it work for you? If not, fine, crack on. Yeah,
find that thing for you. And just trying to be a bit more positive about things, because I think that's, again, one conversation I was having with my son this morning was like, isn't it funny how we talk to ourselves, like you just mentioned? We like beat ourselves up and we'll go straight to that negative, and you daren't talk to anyone like you talk to yourself.
100%.
But not trying to dwell on things and putting it on your shoulders. Maybe it just happened to be right. Move on and find the thing that is right for you. So
100%.
Cool.
So we obviously run events here. We have meeting rooms. We have desk hire. We are not for everyone, but we are for everyone. On some levels, we are absolutely for everybody. So feel free to get in touch. And especially running a small business is a lonely place. So it is really important to test the waters and find your group, find your tribe, find your customers, however you want to word it. So let us know what you think, or let us know your experiences as well. Have we got all of that right? Is that all fair? We're open to feedback and constructive criticism, or just tell us we're great. We are absolutely fine with all of that. So thanks for listening. Like and subscribe as always, because it makes a real difference to a little podcast like ours. And we will see you next episode.
Take care.